Today I'm going to be demonstrating a chest and abdomen wax for one of our male clients. It's one of those treatments that we don't get in very often and can feel a little overwhelming as to how to do it and what wax to use where. I'm going to be using a combination of peelable wax and strip wax. The upper area of the chest tends to be quite delicate and sensitive and also quite reactive to wax that adheres to the skin. So I tend to work with a peelable wax on the chest area purely because the wax will shrink onto the hair and not trigger the skin. I'm going to be using the strip wax on the abdomen area, and the concept of what direction do we apply our wax on, we're going to determine as we look at our client to look at which way their hair grows. So we're going to be following the rule of applying with the hair and removing against. I also like to work in smaller patches just so that I can make sure that I'm not breaking any of the hair and I am able to protect and stretch the skin at every point of application and removal. So I'm just going to create a little hair-free area just down the sternum here. And we're just going to keep those patches nice and small, because we don't want to cross over with any different directions of hair growth. And I'm going to be working with lots of different patches all around this size. Just where you can, it's just a really good tip to try and finish your patches, if you can, in hair-free areas. Just makes the removal a little bit easier, and these are coming out beautifully. Hair growth on the abdomen, so everything is to protect the navel, so you're more likely to find that all the hair grows in towards the navel area. So again, we're just going to make sure we follow the direction and remove against the direction of hair growth. Now here, because the nature of the skin is a little bit different, a little bit thicker than the chest, it's a bit more resilient to trauma, we're going to be using the roller system to do the strip wax on the abdomen area. And today I'm using the Outback Organics Amber. So being very careful with how much pressure you put on the abdomen, but still making sure that you're doing plenty of wiping and you're stretching the skin. So this doesn't have to be a firm pressure down, but we're definitely stretching the skin towards us. I'm still going to do a little bit of the peelable wax, just continuing down from the sternum. This hair grows in a downward direction. And with the peelable wax, you can do bigger patches. So I'm just coming back to the peelable wax. So we're coming back down to the lower area here where it does become a little bit more sensitive. So I'm just reintroducing the use of the peelable wax with the hair that's growing inwards. So all those lovely downy hairs that come out beautifully with the peelable. So I just want to point out a completely normal response for terminal hair being removed, particularly with men, in that we've got this blood spotting that's occurred. So this blood has dried out from where we've been working on the abdomen area, but it is a completely normal response for a hair being pulled out, especially if you've caught the hair in the anagen stage of growth. The super key point here is to make sure that you are re-cleansing the skin after you've finished waxing. Very, very important, because what this blood spotting will effectively do is it will gather and it will go back down into the follicle, and that's where we can get the inflammation and the irritation that comes up from within the follicle. That's when pustules can occur. So we want to make sure that we're re-cleaning the entire area before we put any aftercare on. And the aftercare that I would highly recommend for men is the Outback Organics aloe to finish, but we're definitely going to be using the post-wax spray. It's got a high level of lemon myrtle, so this is a preventative product so that it stops the follicle from becoming irritated and infected. So I'm really working the gel cleanser in. We don't have to remove this. And being water-based, that's just going to evaporate off the skin. And then I'm going to use the post-wax spray. I'm just going to do a mist. And just gently work that in as well. It's really important for your clients to use the post-wax spray at home for the next 3 to 5 days, just to prevent any irritation from occurring. And then I'm going to finish that with the aloe gel, just to take this high colour down. I'm just going to put a little extra aloe up around the neck area. That will always be a very sensitive area to remove hair from. And we're done.